With the 2025 MLB season approaching quickly, today I will be giving you guys one player from every single MLB team that I'm excited to see play this year and that I expect to have a huge year in 2025. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe and share the video with your friends to show them what players to expect to have a big year. Alright, let's jump right in, starting in the AL East with the defending American League winners, the New York Yankees. I believe Carlos Rodon can become a solid number 3 behind Garrett Cole and Max Fried in the Bronx. Last season, Rodon saw a slightly better season compared to his first year in New York. We saw him finish with a 3.96 ERA last season, but with things like FIP and xFIP and xERA sitting all above 4, signs would point to him having a worse season this coming year, but this is mostly due to a huge discrepancy between his splits at home versus away, where he went from a 3.11 ERA in New York to a 4.69 ERA on the road, which has been a huge problem across his career, but his worst month came during a heavy road trip month for the Yankees in June, where he made 4 starts on the road, only 1 at home, and this led to a 7.76 ERA in June. I think if Rodon can avoid a stretch like that, he could easily get back to being a pitcher that sits below that 3.8 ERA range, which is right around where Steamer and Fangraph projections have him for next season. Moving to Boston and Fenway Park, I am most excited to see Garrett Crochet in his first year in a Red Sox jersey. Last year, Crochet broke onto the scene after being a top prospect with the White Sox for a long time, and he's now in Fenway and he's going to have an even better year. Last year, after a dominant May and June, he would cool off the rest of the year but still finish with a 3.58 ERA, and even more promising was his 2.69 FIP, because of an absurd 35.1% strikeout rate with only a 5.5% walk rate. What I love about this is that Crochet has dominated righties, only allowing a 278 WOBA last year to right-handed hitters, so you don't have to worry about the monster affecting him at all against those right-handed hitters, but a slight regression is expected in K per 9 and walks per 9, but the big step up is going to come from having an actual competent team behind him that will hopefully field a little better than the White Sox did last year, which is why I agree with projections that have him sitting at a 3.04 ERA and a 2.87 FIP. Going down to Tampa Bay, this is a tough pick for me because I wanted to say Danny Jansen because of his high pull percentage and the Rays' ability to successfully platoon bats, but without playing in Tropicana this season, I got pushed away from that pick, and my new one is the top prospect in all of baseball, Junior Caminero, who is going to be the next great hitter at third base for years to come. Caminero came up last year and played 43 games, getting a taste of what MLB hitting was like, as he posted a decent 105 WRC plus with a 309 WOBA, and this year I think he'll have a great year and is my pick for Rookie of the Year in the AL because of his immense power he's going to display. According to Fangraphs, Caminero comes in with a 70 grade power, posting a 248 ISO in AAA last season, along with a 267 ISO across high A and AA in 2023. With very little competition on this current Rays roster at third, Caminero, if healthy, will play almost every game, and I expect big things in his rookie season. Moving to Baltimore, I am very high on Ryan Mountcastle having the best year of his career. With things like Baltimore moving that left field wall back in slightly, this should get Mountcastle just a few more homers. Along with the help of being partially platooned and getting to face lefties whenever there is one, I'd like Mountcastle to replicate a season like he had in 2021. Now, I don't expect him to jump back up to 33 homers, but I would actually look for him to bounce back in the K rate and the strike to walk ratio, because if he can get that back to a .29 strike to walk rate, which isn't great or anything, but it would be his second best of his career, along with hitting a few more homers, I think Mountcastle could easily have his highest WRC plus of his career and the most F4 this coming season. Moving to the Blue Jays, I'm going to be honest, not a lot to be excited about on this team, but someone I like and someone I'm going to root for this year is Alejandro Kirk to have a bounce back season and get back to being an all-star catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, I feel Alejandro Kirk doesn't get a lot of love nowadays, but defensively, this is still one of the top dogs of the position, posting 98th percentile fielding run value in 2024 and 89th in 2023. But his problem is his WRC plus was 94 last season, which put him 26 out of 30 catchers who had at least 250 plate appearances, but his defense alone carried him to a 2.8 F4, which is tied for 8th with Adley Rutschman, and he only played 103 games, as he battled a few injuries. Along with this, Kirk had a 297 WOBA, but had a 324 xWOBA, and that's a 27-point difference, so I think a healthy Alejandro Kirk and a little better luck among things could have Kirk become a plus hitter again and expect him to be a 100 WRC plus and one of the top catchers in the American League next season. Starting off the AL Central, I'm going to completely be honest and serious, I am not going to watch any White Sox baseball this year, and this roster is still completely awful, and I don't even care enough to look and see who I think is going to be good. I don't care at all. So I'll give a little rundown, I guess. Luis Robert probably plays pretty good. Hopefully he stays healthy and gets traded to a good team. Mike Tauchman could be a plus hitter, but an awful defender, and Andrew Benintendi robbed your whole franchise, and everyone else in this lineup is pretty mid, and the pitching staff is still one of the worst in baseball history. So there you go for the Chicago White Sox. Moving to Minnesota, I'm excited to see if Carlos Correa can stay healthy this season and have a career year like he was on pace for last year. I feel Correa quietly had a 155 WRC plus and a 4.3 F4 in only 86 games, and probably could have had his best year of his career and topped his 2021 season, but of course injuries wouldn't let that happen. One thing that is scary is he was way outperforming his ex-Wobo last season by 27 points, but I give that to him cutting his K rate down to 16.6%, which was a 6% drop from 2023, and if that can stay anywhere near that rate, expect him to be a great hitter again and always one of the best defenders at shortstop. So watch for Carlos Correa to be a top shortstop this season. Going up to Detroit, I'm excited for their new signee Alex Cobb, who's a pitcher who just can't stay healthy. I mean, he cannot put together a streak of seasons of being healthy, but when he is on the field, the product is very, very good. Now, it's odd to be excited for a 37-year-old going on 38, but I think Cobb could be a nice 2 or 3 starter for the Tigers. I know last season they like to use a lot of starting pitchers, and maybe that means they could do it this year, and that could help Cobb out by letting him skip a few starts in order to get more down the stretch. And I'm hoping so, because if Cobb can stay healthy this season, you could easily expect a sub-4 ERA, as he's done that in 5 of the 7 seasons where he pitched over 135 innings. Along with being in that den that is Comerica Park, everything points to if Cobb is healthy, he's going to be great. Now, for a young, exciting team as well, let's look at the Kansas City Royals, and my favorite player for this season besides Bobby Witt Jr., of course, is Jonathan India. I think Jonathan India is going to excel in a platoon role along Michael Massey in Kauffman Stadium, as last season, India finally had above a 100 WRC plus again, only for the second time in his career, besides his great 2021 rookie season. This came with him hitting lefties very well, posting a 126 WRC plus versus his 101 WRC plus versus righties. And with that, he became an average defender again after being negative in the field since his debut. But for the Royals, I expect a good amount of DHing with the occasional start at second base. But as long as he can be an average defender along with mashing lefties, I expect India to post a great season for the Royals, who are looking for a second straight playoff berth. Now, for last year's AL Central winners, my guy for the Cleveland Guardians has to be Kyle Manzardo. He has been a relatively hyped up prospect for the Rays and Guardians in his time in the minors, and after getting a little playing time to end last year, getting 156 plate appearances in 53 games, posting a slightly below average 98 WRC plus, getting a full year, and along with most likely getting a slight platoon role in the DH spot, he'll most likely get to face a lot of right-handed pitching, and hopefully he can have a stellar rookie year like many projection systems have him getting, with many projection systems having him getting above a 110 WRC plus at the plate, and if he does that, he could be a valuable piece for this Guardians lineup. The first AL West team of the video is going to be the 2023 World Champion Texas Rangers, and the player I'm excited to watch is Kumar Rocker. The former top pick made his debut last year and got to start 3 games, posting a 3.86 ERA with above a 10 Ks per 9, but the scary part was having above a 4 walks per 9. Now, if he can minimize that number to below 3 like he had throughout his time in the minor leagues, I think Rocker could easily be the second best pitcher on this team, or third if Eovaldi and DeGrom both stay healthy, but either way, Rocker is seemingly the future of this pitching staff, and I'm curious to see where his rookie season takes him. Going to Seattle, one player who over the past years has always just been great is George Kirby. He's posted back-to-back seasons of over 190 innings pitched, which you just don't see a lot nowadays, due to his exceptional strikeout-to-walk rate that was above 9 in 2023 and then at 7.78 in 2024. But last season, with a FIP and xERA below what he finished at in the ERA department, I can see why some projections have him as low as 3.2 in ERA. And if he throws 190 plus innings with that ERA, it won't be a surprise to see George Kirby in Cy Young talks come the end of next season. Moving to the Athletics, not sure what to call them, the Oakland Athletics, the Sacramento Athletics, the Las Vegas Athletics, I don't know. But the player I'm excited for is the former top pick in 2023, Jacob Wilson, who should get almost all the playing time at shortstop this season for the Athletics. Last year, he just got a small sample of MLB baseball, playing in just 28 games, posting only an 86 WRC plus and a .1 F4. But by many projection systems, William is expected to have upwards of a 120 WRC plus and be a 3+ WAR player in his rookie year. He's going to be a shortstop who's going to strike out very little and walk just about as little, so he's going to put the ball in play a ton. A player I think is a good comparison is 2024 Miguel Rojas for the LA Dodgers. Wilson should provide above average defending at short, along with being able to cause chaos and be a really good early lineup hitter, or maybe even bottom of the lineup to help turn it over. But I think this is going to be yet another great rookie in the American League. Now, for probably the player I can almost guarantee is going to have a good season is the new Houston Astros third baseman, Isaac Paredes. I know losing Kyle Tucker sucks for Stros fans, but trust me, Paredes is going to be a good player in return. Paredes has one of the highest pull percentages in all of baseball at 53.7%, and as a right-handed hitter, the ballpark I would want to play in if I had that tendency would be Minute Maid Park. The Crawford Boxes is one of the shortest porches for right-handed hitters. Last season, Paredes played for the Tampa Bay Rays, who also has a shorter left field, and he was great there. When he went to the Cubs, he didn't do so well, but he finished the season with 19 homers. Now, if he would have played for Houston all season, he would have had 26 homers last year. This is why I totally agree with many projections when they give Paredes close to replicating his 2023 season in both the WRC Plus department and FWAR as well. And now to our final team of the video, the LA Angels. My player is someone I think went under the radar last season as a rookie catcher, which is Logan O'Hoppe. O'Hoppe posted a 2.3 FWAR, which puts him at 4th in the league for a catcher. Along with this, he posted a 101 WRC+, which was actually below average for the position last year, but one positive sign is his xWOBA was 20 points higher than his real WOBA. But he also had a nearly 30% K rate and almost a 75-point difference between his average and his BABIP. So at the plate next season, I would expect more on-base percentage, as hopefully his strikeout rate can drop at least 3%, and expect a little more slug, as last year his X-slug was almost 50 points higher than his real slug. Another bright spot is from his debut in 2023 and only the 50 games he got to play then, to 2024, he saw major improvements in every aspect of catching, in his blocking, framing, and slightly in his pop time. If he can take one more step up in that department in 2025, along with just slightly better hitting, O'Hoppe could hopefully become a 3-WAR catcher at just age 25. That is all I have for you guys today. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, please show it some support by liking and subscribing to the channel, and even share it with some of your friends if they love baseball. That's all I got, so I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.